Is this thing on? I don't even know what I'm doing. If it's on, what's up, guys? Hoarder here. And I'm preparing to have a really fun night. I got some of the guys here. We're getting ready. They're in the background. In thinking about it, I really should have prepared like some sort of an intro or something kind of fun, but didn't do it. My first time ever doing it. So while they're getting ready, I want to just say some quick hellos. I see Stephanie Anderson, Sean Caldwell, Jack. Come on, Jack. I can't say that. There's kids watching. Texas Plug Riches, Dawn Griffin, Rich Van Winkle, who I'm bringing on in a second. Shella, Chris O'Brien. Thank you for everyone coming. It should be a fun night. We're going to kind of talk about the video that I had out last week, which took place all last year. So I'm hoping for stories from the entire year. All sorts of crazy things happened that didn't make the live stream. But let me bring in the meat and potatoes of the gang, starting with Mr. Charles Harley. Charlie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Jason. Hi, Jason.
I try to bring the most handsome guy on first. That way it sets the stage for the other guys.
Right. Appreciate
Now,
that.
I also have in the combination of Rich Van Winkle and Lynn. And what's funny, Charlie, is I get this comment every week that people don't realize that Lynn and Rich are related.
Really?
Yeah, they just thought that they were two like random people in the group. Turns out that Lynn actually gave birth to Rich.
That's what we heard. We heard
So if you didn't know, that's what it is. And of course, no live stream would be complete, Charlie, without Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fonda Doug himself. Wake up, Doug.
There he is. Wait up. Hi, Doug.
We are rocking and rolling.
Where am I?
You're on the interweb somewhere, Doug. So thanks everybody for coming. I'm really kind of looking forward to this live stream for many reasons. And you're going to find out, if you don't know me, that I talk a lot. So the other gang is more than welcome to cut me off. But I get so many comments and emails and messages, and I'm so thankful, everybody. I really appreciate it. It's just so difficult to carve out hours of time to reply to every single one, and I feel bad. So I thought, what better way than to do like a weekly live stream? We can answer the questions live. We can give more insight, and it'll save my thumbs from trying to email everyone back with little questions here and there. So that was kind of the motivation. And I thought, well, heck, we could have a lot of fun with this because so many goofy things happen every week that have to get cut off of the main thing. Kay in Maine, thank you very much, Kay in Maine. Pizza's on me this weekend, guys. Well, pizza's on Kay. But thank you, Kay. But like I was saying, hold on, I think I can even, now you'd think I'd have like a moderator or something. I don't know how to do anything with that.
Is Chris there?
He might be.
Apparently
I'm not
I
sure.
am a moderator.
Yeah. I think you can like pin a comment or something. We're gonna work on this as we get better.
Learn each week.
Yeah, we're gonna learn each week. But like I was saying, so many interesting things happen, and this is the perfect platform to kind of have fun with it and interact with everybody out there. So that's the motivation behind the show. The plan is we're going to try to do it every single Thursday night. Now, 3 weeks down the line, if I hate it, it's just going to go away. Because that's how things roll sometimes. But I'm going in with positive spirits that I'm going to like it because, I am a talker. So that's where we're going to start off. I have a loose agenda of some general topics, but we all just sort of naturally have the gift of gab. So I don't know how far that we're even going to stick with that. And we did have Musketball Matt, who's going to be here. He went detecting today, forgot about it, and he texted me a half an hour ago, ain't going to make it. So
He found some good stuff. I got some pictures during the
Did you? He's a dedicated detectorist, I will say that. So before I get into anything, is there anything you guys want to specifically say in the opening of the show? Because if not, I'm going to talk the entire time.
I'd just like to ask everyone if they can see my halo.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
the
I
closest
see
you've
it.
ever been
I
to
see
an
it.
angel, Doug.
Yes.
I have a question, Jason. Where are you that it's still fall in the woods?
You know, Rich, it's one of those things where I have weird OCD about things. I like things to look
About
real nice
everything.
and real tight. Real quick, Ultimate Finds Box, Eric is in there. Thank you. Adventure Archaeology, my buddy Brandon, awesome guy. Thanks for showing in. John Shute, Denise Holt, if I pronounced that right. I want to make sure I try to include the chat. So thank you for everyone for showing up. But yeah, I have weird OCD, Rich, where when I do something, if I get into it, I like it to be tight. I like it to get really good.
110%.
So like my early YouTube videos, I think were kind of a hot mess where I didn't really know what I was doing. And then as you like to do something, I like to think they get better and better, you know, camera wise, technology wise, editing wise. Same thing with the live stream. I wanted to have something that looked livable. And then as I go forward, better and better and better. So yeah, I bought a whole bunch of lights and I bought a fancy backdrop. I tried the green screen, but it makes you look all pixelated. I didn't like it. So this is like if you went to Sears and got like a family photo done. Remember the family photos at Sears, Lynn?
Yeah.
I got this from like a Sears closeout sale. And that's where it is. Does Sears still exist and do they do photos? That's the question.
Not
I
if
don't
we
know.
close down.
No.
Karen, KK Karen is in the chat. Everyone
Hi,
knows and loves
KK.
Karen. Thank you for
Hi,
showing up.
KK.
Peter Gavisser said, awesome background. Thanks, brother. Delaware County Diggers. Digging with Deej. Some great people in here. We do have a heck of a community, Doug. We all kind of know each other. So it's nice to see some names because doing the first ever stream, you know, if one person showed up, I'd be like, whoo, thank goodness. We did a trial run a couple days ago, all of us, and that's all that could have showed up for all I knew. We would have just had to have some fun with it. So, well, I thought we would do a recap of the year, some of the funny things that happened, some background stuff, and I'm just going to throw some topics out and see if we can kind of run with it. But if you didn't see the year-end video I just put out, it was kind of like our best of. It was super duper long. It was like an hour and 40 minutes. And I had to edit it down to that because I just thought we found so much cool stuff. Like who's the decider? Who am I playing God? Like this was good enough, this wasn't. You know, like I thought it was all awesome stuff. But I had to leave a lot of really cool things out. So I thought I would share some of the cool moments that for whatever reason didn't make the show. Now, this is going to be the real interesting part. Can I do this stuff live on the fly? So here we go. I'm going to try one, Rich.
All right.
All right, let me see. Everyone bear with me. It's a one guy doing everything first time. So be patient. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
We're all
Who remembers from this year? Hold on. Who remembers this?
I remember something about that.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking it's just your average Beavis and Butt, but look who they decide to roast.
Oh
That
my
was
God.
the coolest thing ever, Doug. And I had to relive that because it wasn't really a best of moment.
No.
But for them to pick on us and put them on national television was a heck of an honor. I also found out we're on the DVD extras, but I didn't buy the DVD nor own a DVD player. So I don't know what other shenanigans they put on.
Now I'm gonna order the DVD.
Yeah, I don't know maybe Rich will make the DVD. You know, the funny thing is
Maybe
this
legs
house
made
that
it.
we were detecting, the episode that Beavis and Butthead wanted to use, Rich and Lynn were there all day with us, but for some reason, Rich only has a half a second cameo of his knee. Like Lynn made it, Doug made it. Look how goofy you look, Doug.
Yeah.
Lynn, Rich, only his knee. And I forget where the knee part is.
Yeah, you could
It's
tell my
coming
head
up.
wherever.
Oh, it's Rich's. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit. Look at that nice spectacle buckle you dug, Doug.
Yep.
So I wanted to say thank you. It's not very often that metal detecting kind of crosses over to, mainstream. And I was honored, even if they made fun of me and, mostly Doug.
Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I actually kicked Charlie out. Sorry, Charlie.
I should have gotten Has duty pay for that because they roasted the heck out of me.
Yeah, they
Doug got it the worst for sure.
Yeah, they were not nice to Doug. But you know what, Doug? You're so fun to make fun of. Like, that's the beauty of it.
I'm an easy target, I admit.
So I'm not going to go on forever on that. But the Beavis and Butthead was a heck of a cool highlight. And man, we had a fun time doing that. And a lot of people don't realize is that we also made a commercial this year, Doug, last year, for a new machine Nokta put out.
Right.
And Rich, I don't think you were there the day that we tried to do it. And I don't even have it queued up.
Did I film you for that a little bit when we were at that event?
Well, you did, but I didn't use that. We did like 15 takes, and one, the sun was at a weird angle. I told OCD, man, a little behind the scenes thing is I can't tell you how long the editing takes, because when you're into something, you want it to look as good as you can make it look. Some things are multiple takes, hours of editing, a clip that's 20 seconds long. And from the beginning to the end, the average person wouldn't even know the difference. But, when you're the editor guy, you really know. It's like if you're a painter and I'm like, oh, I need one line right there. And like no one else cares, but you care. That's kind of how I am with this thing. I'm the painter and only I care. So that's what it is. Digologist, thank you. I don't know if we made it, but we did make the show, which is pretty cool. Chris Fallon, our good buddy Chris from down in Florida. Ken Hurst, he's our buddy. He was from New England. I think they moved to New York. Autism magnet fishing, dirty paws detecting. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. So, the Nokta commercial, no one probably saw it. I don't have it queued up because I didn't even download it. But it was pretty funny where, we were using this new machine and walking through a field, and I tried to cut it up so it looked real cool. And then the machine was called Score. So at the end of the little video clip, Doug, is standing next to me, and Matt was there. And I pull something out of the ground, and I just kind of like put my hand up, and we're all yell Score, and that's how the commercial was supposed to close. And something happened, and the Nokta people must not have liked it. So they dubbed in another guy, like from Turkey, one guy to do the score. So even though there was like four of us there and we all yelled it in unison and it kind of faded, the ultimate end result was one Turkish guy saying like score. And it was like, where did that come from?
Yeah, we did 4 hours of filming and got like 10 seconds of video.
Well, I didn't care about the 10 seconds, but leave it alone. You know how hard I worked on that?
Yeah, I still can't say score in Turkish.
I don't know how you say score in Turkish, but I do want to thank them for even, thinking about us. So that was pretty cool. Now I'm going to bring up another little clip because I thought this one was pretty cool, Doug. And I want to see, Doug, if you can catch it before the audience catches it. So I'll explain it to you in a second. Let me bring up the clip.
I didn't have my zipper down, did I?
All right, hold on. Now, this is a clip, Doug, that I thought could have easily made the best of the year. But when I filmed it, I missed a key feature that makes this find extraordinary. And I want to see if you can pick out what it is, Doug, because in the clip, I didn't mention it because I didn't notice it at the time. Are you ready? Charlie, you can play along too. Let me know. Rich, you can't play because I know you know what it is.
Well, that tells me Rich found it.
Of course, Rich finds everything. All right, I'm going to skip a little bit to the middle. All right, I'm going to play from here. Audience, play along too. What makes this super significant, but it got cut out of the best of?
Let's see what it is. I'm not hearing anything on my pinpointer.
All right, there's Rich's half cent. It's a drape boss, it looks like.
What is it?
1803, Rich?
I think so. I see 180.
I can see part of the Liberty at the top. Yeah, 180 would be the drape bust. He didn't hit it too bad. Oh, yeah, he did.
Wait,
It's got really nice detail on it too, which stinks because a lot of half cents are really slick.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, that's a great coin. We'll clean it up really good and come back later at the end because we
send
don't.
it back a little bit, Jay.
This is your first one ever.
Keep watching.
Isn't it?
No, my first half cent I ever found was bent in half.
Oh, well. Well, hey, it's still a good find, man. Congratulations. 20 years old, oldest coin of the day.
All right. Anybody in the chat? Somebody in the chat said it, Doug. They beat you. Doug, do you know what it was?
Yeah, I think it said 1 cent, but it had 1 over 200.
No, that's
Yeah.
not it. You're fired. Charlie?
See ya.
I think it didn't make it because the one that did make it was under my truck.
No, good guess. I'm trying to see if anyone. I saw one person in the comments got it. I'm going to reverse it and show it frame by frame. All right, everybody watching here. Here's the coin, Drake bust half cent, and I missed it too, so no shame. And if you watch, I'm going to flip it over. Bang.
Oh, it's upside down.
180 degree
180
rotated
degree
die.
rotated.
You know how rare that is, Doug?
Yeah.
Now, in the Green Mountain Metal Detecting, Brad is in the group. Round of
Whoa, hey,
applause
Brad.
for
Hi, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
Brad.
180 degree rotated die, Doug. Incredibly rare.
Yes.
When I filmed it, I missed it because you know what it was? Is because I didn't have my glasses on and I can
Yeah, right.
barely see that I'm even in a room right now. You know what I mean? Like I'm so blind. So I missed it, that it was totally upside down.
I
But
missed
that
it
was
at
a
the
cool
time,
one.
too.
And yeah, you mixed it too, Rich. And the one thing that everyone in the comments, when they were trying to figure it out, even though they didn't see the die, everyone did notice that Richard nixed that one pretty good.
Yeah.
This may have been where Richard Nixon
He
got his
name.
nickname because as rare as that coin is, man, he gals the bejesus out of it.
Good thing it's still not worth a lot.
Well, with the rotated die, I'm not really sure. But that was an awesome find for clearly the best of. And speaking about Brad, who popped in, I was debating on putting Brad's clipped dime in the best of, but I thought, like, I don't know, that might be cheesy. You know, like people think I'm like using Brad to get views. So I had to cut you out, Brad, but it was a pretty darn significant find.
And he is coming out. He has a new show coming out tomorrow, I believe.
I saw something on that. If I would, maybe I'll have Brad come on if he wants to come on. I could probably text him a link. Let me see. Doug, you talk for a second. I'm going to send Brad a link, and if he wants to pop on, he can announce what his show is if he cares to.
Okay. I hope everyone's doing well. I want to thank everybody that has sent me or personally handed me one of their prized dog tags. I continue to increase my collar, the collar of fame. So I'm not soliciting any, but I do appreciate the gesture by sending and handing to me their prized dog tags.
Doug, have you counted them recently? Do you know?
No, not recently. It's the chain's getting pretty full though.
That kind of, I'm not going to lie, that kind of sounded like a solicitation to me.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
Someone had I saw a questionnaire that they asked of you and I. What did we do before we retired?
Well, go ahead. Your career was much more illustrious than mine.
Oh, about that. But anyway, I was a teacher for 35 years. I taught science, and we were also dairy farmers. We had 3 farms, and I retired from everything. We still have the farms, but we don't have cows anymore. But I was a teacher for science.
Right.
Charlie, before Doug answers, I have a little comment about that, which is I think is really funny. And if I would have known he was going to ask that, I would have had a clip. Charlie was a farmer his whole life, you know, but Charlie is deathly afraid to touch horses, to pet horses. And we were at a farm one day, and this horse came over to the end of the fence, and we were petting him, and we were all feeding him apples. And Charlie was scared to death to give this horse an apple, and he'd have it in his hand, and when the horse's mouth came close, Charlie'd be like, ah, and like drop it on the ground. I said, Charlie, you raised horses for 97 years. How are you?
I've been bitten. I've been kicked. I've been thrown off of horses. I want to stay away from horses.
So right, Charlie.
I have a clip too. I should have prepared. I have a clip of you trying to feed that horse that I cut out of the video, not to embarrass you, but in this platform, it's appropriate.
Horses,
Everybody's open game. Right?
horses used to beat me up too much. Horses took care of me real
Just
well.
remember, when you feed a horse, Charlie, you feed him with an open palm and let his lips. You don't hand it to him with your fingers.
Doug, what's crazy is some days I come home, and when I sit down to start editing the week's video, sometimes so many funny things happen that I could almost make a whole video without even seeing a metal detector. And that's how that horse day was, because the guy we were with, his name was Jerry. He walked through the field to go to a field in the back, and these bulls came out and surrounded him, and he just like stopped still.
Mm-hmm.
And these bulls were trying to attack him, and it was the craziest thing. Doug, hold on. I have a surprise impromptu guest coming on to the stream. This is totally, unexpected, but I'm going to bring on, there he is, the handsome, charismatic Green Mountain Brad Martin with his smaller counterpart.
Sorry for hijacking your stream here.
Brad, I'm glad you were able to make it, man. What's funny is I told myself, once I get used to the format and trying to control all the computers and everything, I want to have some guests come on so we can rap with other people about interesting things. And you were going to be the first guy I call. You still might be.
All right, I'm ready.
Because one thing I love about Brad, and I'm sure everyone in the comments does, is that his detecting videos are so much different than everyone else's because he's got that eye. You know what I mean? Like that eye where he captures the beauty of the day and almost the find is secondary. And I try to do that same thing, only I try to do it around the fun and the comedy and the camaraderie of the friendship, and the finds are almost secondary. So kudos to Brad for a magic formula, and you really do an excellent job, man. No one else even comes close.
I appreciate that.
May I add something here? What I appreciate. No. Okay.
Okay, good.
What I appreciate about Brad's YouTube channel is he gets into some of the, deepest parts of a forest. I know he's traveled like 5 or 6 miles, just before he starts digging.
Yeah, those are my favorite places to be because people haven't been there dropping modern stuff in hundreds of years.
Exactly. I couldn't do that, though. I'd be dead halfway into the
You would die, Charlie would die, and I would die trying to save us both, and that would just be the end of it.
I love this little thing you guys have going on now. Quarter after. What a good idea.
I'm excited, Brad. Like I said earlier, I don't know what time you got on, is, I get a lot of emails and comments and all that stuff. And I feel so bad that I never have the time to reply to every single one.
Oh, sure.
And I'm so empathetic, and it drives me insane. So I thought, what a better way than I'll do a weekly after show. We can tell the funny stories behind the show. I can show a lot of the clips that I cut out of the regular video.
Right.
Almost every house, Doug, we get a tour of the inside of the house. There's always like interesting architecture, secret passages.
Sure.
And I always cut all that stuff out because I don't want to bore the metal detecting fans. But if you do a live stream, hey, you come if you want to come. If you want to take off, you take off. You won't hurt my feelings.
Great idea.
So now, Brad, I brought you in not just to look at your handsome face, but I saw tomorrow, I think it is, you're starting something new. So, hey, man, cheap plug.
Cheap plug. I thank you. I really appreciate that. So tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, my new multi-part miniseries, 5 parts, The Grave of Gold, is airing. And it's going to be, if anybody has seen my little Fault of DeGrau show, which we did 2 years ago. It's going to be similar but different. So we're searching for a kind of a legendary Vermont treasure. And unlike the DeGrau series, which we started with no real plan how to end it, this one's all filmed, it's all done, and we're just going to post it for the next 5 weeks, and then it'll be over. I'm
excited. Then that'll be your Friday video for 5 weeks, this saga.
You got it.
I'll tell you a funny story. Charlie, I don't know if you left already, but when we were in North Carolina at the dig stock, we were hunting with Brad. And, some people came up to us and were very friendly and said hello and whatnot. But one guy came up to Brad and he said that he found that you hid like a treasure chest.
Yes.
The guy flew into Vermont from where was he?
Kansas City. Yeah. So spoiler alert, if you didn't see the Vault of DeGrau, tune off for the next 30 seconds. We searched for this legendary Vermont treasure, and we knew from the very start we weren't going to find it. So my plan was, how do we have a satisfying ending to a show searching for a treasure when we know we're not going to actually find it at the end, right? So our plan was, last episode, reveal that we debunked the treasure myth. We stole that from Vermont, and so we gave back a new treasure. We hid our own chest, and we let our audience go find it. And I was confident nobody would find this thing for years, maybe never. And somebody found it in 6 days. He flew in from Kansas City, hiked into the mountains in a foot of snow, and he found it. And then I ran into him in North Carolina, of all places.
Right.
Yeah, better treasure hunter than I, for sure.
And geez, the dedication to get on, honey, I'm leaving for a week. I'm going to Vermont to the mountains to look for this thing this guy buried.
And it was like 2 days before Christmas. He went out there and he's like, all right, see you later, family. I'm going to go find this treasure.
That's amazing. And then the guy was there. He showed up in North Carolina, and I was standing next to you when he introduced himself, and I was like, holy cow, that is dedication. I don't feel like going to the store to get a cup of coffee some mornings.
Right. No, yeah, he was, like I said, he's a better treasure hunter than I. I never found a chest full of silver in the mountains of Vermont, but he did.
Nah, we don't find a chest full of anything. Sometimes I've seen Doug fall and land on his chest. But
so this next series is very similar, where we go into the history of this particular treasure, people who may have looked for it in the past, as we look for it ourselves. And maybe we find it, maybe we don't, maybe there's going to be a little surprise at the end. We'll have to wait and see.
What do you call in the series, Brad?
Grave of Gold, because
that sounds ominous.
Yes, I know. I'll give away a little bit of the story now. It's an exclusive just for the quarter.
Oh wow! Everybody, turn your volume up.
So there was so the last series, all the characters were very legendary, right? Did they exist? Did they not? Who knows? This story, they're definitely real people. Found them on censuses, and there was a tavern owner in 1820s in these deep places I like to go metal detecting, way up in the mountains, and he was accused of murdering his patrons, 1820, and hoarding their wealth and hiding it on the property somewhere. Some people say maybe he was hiding it in his future grave. So that's the premise.
Wow, that does sound ominous. You got the creepiest legends going on up there, man.
They're the interesting ones. So anyway, that's tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I've taken up enough time of your live stream.
I'm definitely going to tune in. Everyone else does too. I didn't know you were coming on. I don't have a logo prepared. But if you don't know him, A, you live under a rock. But B, check him out. Green Mountain Metal Detecting. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for popping on, Brad.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Take care, brother.
Take care, Brad.
Well, look at that, Charlie, Doug, Rich. Exclusive guest. Like that. I just texted him out of the blue. He's like, quick, where's my underwear? I got to put some clothes on. So thank you, Brad. You never know what's going to happen on a live stream. That's one of the best things. I did see some more people. I got to make it a point, Doug. I want to interact with the chat. I want to look for questions in a little bit. But hello, I see My View 1875. I saw Matt going digging, popped in there a minute ago. Little Egypt Adventures, Charlie Upley again, Kay in Maine, shout out. Brad is awesome, Kay. And like I said, one of the plans is going forward, and I was telling Doug my idea for this show every week, and it might change and evolve as I see what I like and don't like. But I wanted to each week talk about that week's episode with, like I said, whatever funny things happen. But then I wanted to tackle like a topic each week. Maybe we would do one on I get a lot of questions on door knocking, and Charlie and Doug are our expert door knockers. I thought we would go into what they do. We might do a little mock play, like I'll pretend I'm a homeowner. Doug will give a spiel. I'll throw questions out at Doug that a homeowner might ask and see how he responds to help people out.
Yeah.
We're going to do one on maybe cleaning things, what to clean, what not to clean, and the caution of, hey, there's never a method that'll always work. You got to look at everything individually. So I never email people back when they ask me, how do you clean this? Because what worked today that I found in one field might not work tomorrow with something I found in the adjacent field. But we're going to have all sorts of topics. And one was going to be, different ways that people edit their YouTube videos, because I love seeing different perspectives. And if I see someone does something, I kind of steal a little bit of one person's ideas and incorporate it into mine. And you kind of find a little mix and match. And like I said, Brad does an incredible job with his videos, goes way above and beyond, and the proof's in the pudding. They look fantastic.
Somebody in the chat said, did Brad take the picture that's behind Jason?
He lives in that picture. You'll see Brad climbing up in the background. I tried to have some fun with it, Rich. When I ordered this backdrop, I ordered a whole bunch of them. So each week you're going to see some really funny ones. Like, what is he doing there? And even though they have a green screen, like I said, it's just, you look pixelated, and there's green in my hat, so people tell me. So you got to be careful of the colors. It's just cooler and easier to buy a nice, fancy little backdrop.
There's my friend Matt Freeze. Matt Freeze.
Oh, is he in the chat, Matt Freeze?
He's in the chat, yes.
I believe Matt's going to be joining us this weekend if he's coming.
Yes.
The normal Matt won't be there, so this Matt's stepping in, kind of like when that woman from Bewitched got replaced by another Bewitched woman.
Yeah.
We're getting rid of one Matt, picking up another one for this weekend.
Well, his last name should provoke you to give him a good nickname. So
I try to base the nickname on what people find. It's got to be like something about that. That's why you were, Dog Tag Doug,
yeah.
and of course Jane Fondug. Doug, would you like to tell the story for anyone that might be new, how you got the Jane Fondug nickname? I know I've told it before, but there could be new people here.
Okay. Well, it was raining one day, and we had gotten a promotional item called Gators, which are, if you're familiar with the old Army uniforms, they're like not spats, but they cover the whole calf up to the knee from the shoe. So they were to prevent your legs from getting wet in the rain. So I put them on, and they worked very well. And Jason told me I looked like Jane Fonda in a workout video. Of course, I looked anything but like Jane Fonda. But
You were the before Jane Fonda.
yeah, before the workout. Yeah. So, of course, Jason, being as creative as he is, named me Jane Fondug. And the name is stuck, much to the chagrin of several who watch us religiously.
There's only like two people that take offense to the Jane Fondug nickname.
Yeah.
And
I think both Marines.
Yeah, and it's I get it. I'm not going to get involved with the whole backstory of Jane Fonda, but the funny name is it's just a play on the name. I'm not endorsing her. I don't know anything about her, but I love things that rhymed, and you did look like a workout model from the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, a slovenly one.
I'm glad you didn't say I look like Richard Simmons.
Very shapely.
And then, of course, and if you're really new, every week I announce Doug as Dog Tag Doug, Mexican Doug, Jane Fondug. But over the years, Doug's had a lot of other nicknames too, and we'll get into them in another episode. But I'll ramble some off. You were Crocodile Doug Deep.
Yep.
One day he dug something really down the hole.
It was about
Doug's Bunny.
Yeah, Doug's Bunny.
Doug's Bunny was a good one.
What do you always say Doug's nickname in college was?
In high school?
Open Bottom.
Yeah.
That was in a video. Was that this year? I think that was this year.
Yeah.
Well,
Doug found a Tootsie toy and he was cleaning it out and he just said he had a toy car. So I yelled across the field. I said, does it have an open bottom? No, he yelled across and said,
It's got
I
an
don't
open-
know if it's a Tootsie, but it's got an open bottom.
Which
And then I said, oh, that was coincidentally, that was his nickname in high school, open bottom. And I didn't even think about it when I said it, but it was so funny in my own mind that I think I had to edit the video because I laughed out loud to myself.
Well, you didn't edit it completely because it aired and everybody heard it. Thanks, Nick.
No, I edited out some of the aftermath because I
Oh,
cracked
okay.
myself up for like 20 minutes with that one.
Which is why Beavis and Bud had roasted me so much.
And the best part was when I said it and I looked up, Doug had a look on his face like he knew he messed up.
yeah. He said
Like
that.
I should have never said that out loud.
You messed up. I just said the wrong thing to open the door for you.
But Doug is a great sport. I mean, without little funny things like that, that's the magic of the show. And, that'll be in an episode down the run of our live stream. But man, I love the fun and camaraderie of the show, even more than the fines. I mean, to me, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes editing it, exciting. If it was just, here's my coin, here's my button, let's get the next one, I might not have been motivated to do this for, I don't even know, 8-9 years now, every single week, rain, snow, sleet, hail. But it's the funniness and all these guys and girls, Lynn, that make it good. I mean, I love these guys and girls, whatever you want. I don't know what you call collaboratively guys and girls.
One of the
People.
guys.
These
Yeah,
people.
People. All right, people.
She's one of the guys.
She is one of the guys to me.
Thanks,
We have
Doug.
a question a little while back here from Andrew T about
Okay.
how we're all liking the AccuPoint pinpointer.
Oh, Rich, you got yours the newest. Why don't you tell them what your experience is?
I love it so far. I have had no problems with it. It acts just as expected, and I really like that it comes with extra tip caps because
Yeah,
we're all gonna
you're gonna
ruin it.
use it as a digging tool.
Yeah, we dig with them. It's hard not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few comments when I showed your old Garrett pinpointer where people were saying, don't dig with it. And look, hey, I get it. But it's not like we dig with it, but you're shoving it in the dirt. It just is going to get worn down over time.
When you're in the
And-
heat of the moment, you can't. It's just you stick it right down in the dirt, the rocks, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, that Garrett lasted for years. I mean, you got to keep in mind, we go out, 12 hours at a time. Rich digs 600 holes every single time. It's just naturally going to get worn down.
That might be a real number too.
That's what I said. I mean,
I probably dig.
for every one thing that people see in the video, there was probably between all of us 100 just pieces of junk. And I try to put up, not only want to say the best things, but I put up good things. I put up fun things. I put up things that were interesting, that were conversation provoking. Doesn't have to be, silver coins and large cents. It could be, we have a lot of fun with like kids' toys from the 1960s. If it's fun and it creates a dialogue, that's making it in. So, we dig a lot of trash too. I don't want anyone to think that, that we're some superior detectorists. No, it's just when you dig 500 holes, you're bound to get 6-7 good things.
Real quick,
And-
can people who have questions in the chat, can you put it in all caps so it's easier for us to see it?
yeah, if you put something in the chat, now I don't have a lot of live stream experience, but I think if you put the @Quarter Hoarder or @Dog Tag Doug, I think then your comment gets bold. Is that right, Rich?
It'll be easier to see. Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't really keep an eye on it. Rich and Charlie and Doug are kind of watching the chat. So yeah, any questions you guys have?
Yeah. Hey,
This
hey,
first
Doug,
one is just kind of we're trying to get used to the format. I'm trying to make sure I can control everything. So I didn't want to do anything too overbearing. I'm not going to do any giveaways today. So watch 150 people will leave. But next week, I think I will. I just have to kind of get my feet wet. And even though I prepared all week and I think I got it, it's always best to just jump in the pool and you sink or swim. And then whatever problems you have, you fix them for the next time. That's kind of how I live my life.
Hey,
So
Doug,
now we
you never did answer that question. What you did before?
Oh,
you
yeah, Doug, what did you do?
Well, I had a number of different jobs over years, a lot of which surrounded sales, different things. I had my own business, which I've turned over to my colleague, Rich Van Winkle, and he's doing a great job maintaining it and doing well with it, and gives me the time I need to just do all the things my wife wants me to do every day.
and get all our permissions mostly.
Well,
And Charlie.
and Charlie's fortunately Charlie, because of his affiliation with the neighborhood as a farmer, he's got hundreds, maybe thousands of acres that he's gotten us on of fellow farmers in his Berks County, and we've done very well in that location and continue to do so when we're not doing things that I pick at. So,
well, I have to give a lot of credit to my wife, Judy. Everybody knows her family, and that's very helpful because it becomes trustworthy. And also when we go to a farm, they know my family, and that's very helpful. And the farms that we go to are 300-year-old properties, and that's, it's nice land to detect.
people often wonder, they've asked me, and I'm sure they've asked each one of us at one time or another, why do you hunt on farmlands? What could possibly be in a farm field? Well, these farms that we go on are 200-300 years old. People actually worked, not on a tractor, but behind a horse and working manually. And during the course of the day, every day, they drop something, they lose something, buttons come off, utensils from the house get
For
lost.
200 years.
For 200 years. If we know a property is that age and it's continued as a farm that many years, we're going to seek to hunt it.
And to add on to that, the farms are great for that reason, that every year there'd be dozens of people in there, maybe every day, planting, watering, harvesting every day for hundreds of years. And then once you got into the 1920s or so, with the development of tractors, then one machine did all that work, so nobody was in the farm field anymore.
Right.
So you went from all this activity to no activity, and that's why when we get on these old farms, we usually find very little modern stuff, and everything we find, trash or good, is 100 years old or older, because the only people walking through these fields today are us and maybe some hunters during the 2-month hunting season.
Right.
Somebody dropped a lot of modern pennies, though.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes we do on the edges of farm. I always think you picture a tractor for the last 100 years, plowing that field a couple times a year. They push everything and then they turn around, they go this way. So the edges of the farm field usually have most of the stuff, junk or good, because everything slowly gets pushed. So in the middle, the small things, buttons, coins that slide through the tractor points, they're just laying there. And a lot of the big things, your cans and your large junk, get slowly pushed to the edges. In theory, always, caveats to that.
Well, Jason, one of the things I like to mention about is up my area here. We have a lot of stone farmhouses, but before the stone farmhouses, there were cabins built. And one of the things that you found out was on our family farm, I never knew there was 2 log cabins on the farm. And of course, you and I detected that area, and it turned out to be super, where we found out where the cabins were.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. I mean, those early settlers, every penny they lost was a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're very fortunate too. I mean, if you live in, on the East Coast, with the 13 colonies where, all colonists came over, it's some of the oldest stuff you can find in this country. But if you live on the West Coast or wherever you live, you're still going to have old stuff. You make the most of where you live. The people that live over in England probably laugh at us because the oldest things we find, they throw in a bush.
I'm always so surprised, though, in the comments at how many people in Europe watch us. There's always people saying hello from, wherever.
People they're very friendly. And I've met a lot of friends over in England through the channel. I know Doug talks to a lot of them. I think Charlie does. It's a nice community because it's small and we all kind of know each other. And if you've been around in this for a year or so, you probably know everybody, because sometimes people will come in, do it for a few months and leave. But if you stick around for a year or two, man, everyone's going to know who you are because there's not a lot of us that do this. We're probably a little strange, but strange people like magnets, you kind of find each other. That's how we all found each other.
We've got Detechnician from Ireland in the chat. We had someone else from UK mentioning.
Yeah, look, Clem Fandango. He watches from Wales.
Wales.
I don't know what time it is right now over there, but it's got to be pretty late. So thanks, guys. Drummond Detect. What's up, brother? Monty DeWitt, the 717 detector. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Feel free, Doug, to shout out any names. Hollywood Joe. Charlie, Hollywood Joe is in there.
Hi, Joe.
He looks like Robert De Niro. If you don't know Hollywood Joe,
Right.
Good dude.
I told everyone that was logged into the chat tonight from England area, UK, to just call in sick tomorrow.
You can hang out for a little while.
Exactly.
Little Egypt Adventures. Thank you, Doug. Now you get a drink with your pizza Saturday.
Oh, good.
We do.
So we did have a couple people question about us going to Digstock in North Carolina. I didn't know if you wanted to address that tonight, but that has
I don't know what it is. I saw one there's a Digstock next month, February, and I apologize. I don't know where in the country it is, but I won't be able to make it. I didn't even find out about it till recently, and it's too early. I don't know when the next Digstock is. The only events that I know about that I'm going to, I believe, is the Show Me Treasure Hunt in Missouri, and that's in like April
4th, I think.
Yeah, and so I'm going to try to go to that. It's the first annual one. He was going for like 200 or 300 people. That one should be pretty exciting. And then I think I'm going to Detecting the Heartland. I haven't gotten the confirmation yet, but I'm waiting to hear back from Nokta, most likely. And then I usually try to bring Doug with me if he's able to go, if he wants to go. I make him sleep on the floor when we stay somewhere. He doesn't always like that.
I won't be going this year.
And I make him rub my feet because I'm tired. It was a long day of walking.
So, super chat from Zachary Gates.
I just saw it. Zachary Gates, thank you.
Thank you.
PA Relic Hunters. Rich, didn't we meet them at an event and we did a big group picture?
We've met them a lot of times, yeah.
Oh, then I'm sorry, guys. I remember that one specifically because they brought shirts for us.
They brought shirts.
Yeah.
Nice white shirts.
Yeah, because I remember two things about that day.
Yes.
One, I thought to them, man, they're nice guys, but what metal detectorist team wears all white shirts? Ours would be ruined in like 20 minutes, because we're all pretty slovenly.
I don't wear white in life.
I don't own anything white. Even my socks, maybe they were white, but now they're like an off gray.
Yeah.
So that's awfully ambitious. They all wear white shirts, but they were great guys. We met them at one of the Come Out Swinging events, I believe.
Swinging it was.
Yeah.
We
so
have
nice
some
guys.
questions.
Thank you, guys.
We have some questions here from Lynn.
Oh, Lynn.
Yeah, I can't remember who asked them, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
But one would be, do you metal detect?
Oh, geez.
Real quick, Out West Metal Detecting sent $5 in super chat. Thank you, Out West. We really appreciate it. Shout out to you.
Out West.
Go ahead, Lynn. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Well, I kind of just like hanging around because I like seeing what everybody else is doing and bringing out of the ground. There are a few times that I've used Jason's detector or Rich's, and the last time I used Rich's, not to make a big long story, but I've had Lyme disease 5 times, and it affects my joints. And the one place that even after being treated for it, my right wrist still hurts in the joint. And when I hold the detector for more than 5 minutes, it's just not good. So maybe someday, not that I wouldn't like to, but I just like being with these guys and seeing what they all dig up.
If Lynn ever wants to detect, we have plenty of extra machines.
Right.
The closest I can think is the one day Doug had you digging all his holes. You must have dug, usually, Doug will swing over something and maybe mentally he'll say to himself, I'm not going to dig this. It doesn't sound that good.
I didn't
But when
care
you're digging
then.
his holes, he dug everything.
I don't mind doing that a bit. If anybody wants me to do that for them, I'll be happy to.
And I don't think you only found one thing that whole day of all the holes you dug for Doug.
I found
It was
one
awesome.
button.
though.
Yeah.
No,
One
you found
button.
you found a token for Bristol Myers Squibb, I recall.
And a
But the
truckload
red
of
button
aluminum.
was awesome. though.
Computer button.
Pewter button, yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did find a pewter button that day? I
Yes.
remember.
Yeah.
And
But yeah, Lynn
The other-
out there, sore wrist or not, a trooper dug all of your holes all day long.
There's 2 things I like about Lynn when she comes. One, she brings these fake goods. And
Thank
2,
you, Charlie.
they're so
she
good.
helps me get up. Sometimes she helps me get up down on my knees.
Lynn's the muscle of the group.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lynn, one thing about Lynn, I don't put in the videos a lot because again, I have to draw the line because they're a half an hour as it is every single week, and no one asks her to, but Lynn will bake some new delicious treat every single week. And I mean, over the last 2 years, Lynn, I mean, there's been some yummy stuff.
And we got Bobby Buddha in the chat along with.
Oh, Bobby, how are you, sir?
Hey, Bobby.
Bobby was a moderator from when we did the last stream. So your name is still in blue, Bobby. Thanks for joining us.
Someone wants to know, Lynn, how do you put up with these guys?
Well, it's pretty tough, but I like to laugh. So I think, they supply that every week. Every week is the whole day of laughing.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And Lynn was a great trooper. And, for those that don't know, we met Lynn and Rich from just randomly metal detecting their house. Lynn lives in an incredible mid-1700s house, which the day we detected it, I gave like a full tour. It's like a museum. I mean, if you ever want to see some incredible things, go back and watch that video, because I don't know how Rich grew up in that house, because everything is like priceless, one-of-a-kind stuff from like the 1600s. It's amazing.
I don't know how I didn't break
I
it.
And he did.
I don't know how we
I
found
used to
it.
stretch the phone cord across.
I don't know. It was
the entire
incredible. And Lynn and
Amazon
Rich
card.
were so
house. Oh,
cool
I did
right
send
from
the
day
list.
one. They almost instantly became part of the team, whether they wanted to or not, Doug.
Yeah. Well, I remember how we actually came across them.
Oh, that's a funny story. You can tell that story.
I don't remember if it was Rich or Lynn who had been texting, or not texting, but messaging you through Facebook.
It was Rich.
It was me.
Rich.
Rich.
Now, turns out,
Clem Fandango, thank you. He sent a super chat.
Ooh,
I don't even know what that is in U.S. money, but it's something. Thank you, Clem.
it's a lot.
It could be $1 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, and Adrian Tucker, thank you.
We're not
The live stream
soliciting-
wasn't a money grab by any means, so
No.
people don't have to feel compelled to send anything. But
But
thank
let's
you
see-
for even thinking.
let's see-
Oh,
Hey!
Underground History, another one. Ciao, Jason. Oh, he must be a paisan, Doug. A paisan.
The floodgates are open.
Underground History, thank you. Yeah, but please don't feel like you have to do that. But thank you. And Abby Thomas confirmed that Clem's money was $1 million. Thank you, Clem. Thank
Can't wait to get it. So anyhow, back to my story, see. So they're trying to communicate with Jay, much like I did when I first encountered the quarter hoarder. And Jason called me up. He says, I would like you to go over and visit this guy because he's close to you. And it turns out he's like 5 minutes away, as is Lynn in a different direction. So I go over, knock on the door. It turns out he is right next door, actually the same building, just separated by a wall. My good friends who I've known for years and years live on the left side. He's on the right side. So I knock on the door and he comes to the door. Now I'm supposed to be vetting him. Now, my standards are very low. So
I just like to make sure they're not a total weirdo before we invite them to come with us.
He could have come to the door with a machete, ready to lop my head off.
That would have been a weirdo.
Yes, and I
Tickle me Torgo, thank you. Oh, and Marcy M. Sorry, Doug, I don't want to interrupt, but I want to acknowledge if someone's going to dig in their wallet for us. Thank you,
my
guys.
good friend Marcy from the Heartland.
Is that Marcy that made us those covers?
Yes.
It is?
Up in Illinois, Iowa area.
Is that where she's from? Forgive me, Marcy. I don't remember where you're from.
Yes.
Well, thank you, guys. And Marcy sent a nice little kitten emoji, too. Don't know what it is, but thank you.
All right. So I'm vetting Rich, and Rich introduced himself to me, and we talked metal detecting. Turns out his mom has this old property right down the street, and we ended up hunting that property. And I'm actually surprised with as good a detectorist as Rich is that there was anything left in his mom's yard to find.
Yeah, like Rich, how is that possible? Like as many things as you dig, how did we find so much at your mom's house?
Believe it or not, I had been watching you guys for a while. You were my favorite channel to watch, not just because you were in my area, but because
Doug's so handsome.
You take so much care in making the videos, and the friendship in the channel is just great. But it was I knew enough to not dig that much before I invited you guys out.
Wow, Doug, that's incredible.
Very astute.
I started metal detecting, I don't know, 6 months before I contacted you.
He was new.
You were relatively new, and you held off from detecting the honey hole of your mom's yard.
Yeah. Which it was.
Yeah, like what if we blew you off and never responded?
Well, all that stuff would have been mine then, I guess.
It was kismet.
And Rich, you know what's really funny? I don't know if Doug ever told you this, but when Doug left meeting you for the first time, he called me and he says to me, "You're not going to like him." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "He's got a real long beard. I don't know if you're going to like him." I'm like, "What do you mean? What do I care? He's got a real long beard."
Now,
and turns out Rich is probably the nicest, easiest going guy of all of us. Never has a bad word to say, never confrontational, team player through and through. And from day one, he was in.
Yeah, well,
that's how I live I've always tried to live my life by don't judge.
Same, brother, same.
Well, here's the thing. You forgot to tell everyone that when I said that, I said, don't judge a book by looking at its cover. I said, this kid is nice. He's got a long beard. He does look, kind of like Man Mountain Dean, a smaller version. But
what is that reference?
Who is that?
Mountain Dean,
Doug, can you give references from the last 50 years?
All our older followers will know who I'm talking about.
In the chat, if anyone knows who whatever he just said.
Man Mountain Dean.
Does anybody in the chat know who Man Mountain Dean is? These are the references I have to work with every week.
I'm trying to educate you.
I'm over the top who he was.
Charlie, have you heard of this Man Mountain thing?
No, but we didn't have a TV when I was young.
Adrian Tucker says no. Drum Detect, no. 717 Detector, no. Diana Reed, no. Anybody?
Made that up.
Ben Hurst, no. It's all. Oh wait, someone said a wrestler. Was he a wrestler, Doug?
Yes, he was. And
Oh well, then
that's
kudos to Abby Thomas.
yes.
Well, I'm a huge wrestling fan. I can't believe I never heard of
Which
him.
I can't believe you didn't.
Yeah,
get.
I mean, as a kid, I was a huge fan.
He was almost like a smaller version of Haystacks Calhoun.
Oh, well, that guy was a giant. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was.
So,
But anyhow,
all right, well, good job. Someone did know. Deej knew he was a
said
wrestler
this,
too.
Yes, I said that this is a very nice kid. I think we should invite him out to hunt, and that's when we found out that we were able to hunt his mom's house.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that was nice of you to invite him out to hunt his own mom's house with us.
hey,
Well, that was
You a saint.
that was another thing. I didn't want to email Jason without inviting them somewhere, because I mean, can I come with you guys? Like,
Well, I'll say
just
that
like
was
emailing
probably
you
pretty
to say
smart
that.
on your behalf because it's much easier to accept an invitation from a stranger than invite a stranger because you got to be careful. Not only like weird, possible wackadoo that might stab us when we turn our back, but we don't know. These places we detect are owned by total strangers, so we try to, even though we have fun with the property owners and joke around, we got to make sure that you don't cross that line. And if we don't know you and you have a foul mouth, or you're a terrible plug digger, or you're throwing trash all around, that reflects on us. And bad word of mouth travels 100 times faster than good word of mouth. So we kind of do have to be protective on who we invite if we don't know you.
Hey, Doug, do you remember when I invited you guys? There's a 50-foot cliff and it was an icy path down through the woods, through the ruins.
I remember. That's where, when Brad was on and I said you fell and
Yeah.
landed on your chest, that was the day, Doug. Charlie invited us the first day we went out.
Okay, we're good.
What?
Nope.
Just lagging.
He took us on his Kubota for about half a mile, and then we had to walk 6 miles along a raging river with ice and snow, and I mean,
We
it
were
was
like, if this was
ungodly
like the
out
cliff,
there.
like we were
I
walking like
almost
this.
died before
If
I
you
hit
felt
the-
like we were going down like 40
Jesus.
feet,
Thanks a lot, Charlie.
and it was, and the little walkway that was on this cliff was all covered in ice. And we didn't know who Charlie was from Adam. I
Ice.
thought for sure we were going to die that day, whether we slipped or this guy killed us.
Through the woods.
Yeah, look at Karen. Karen's right. It was uphill
Yeah.
both ways.
It was awful. I felt so bad.
You should have felt bad. If we didn't find all those large cents, you should have felt bad.
It turned out
Well,
to be
Yeah,
a
it's a
great
good thing it
location.
was
geez.
great location.
I'm still planning on killing all you guys. I'm just biding my time.
And what's funny is as treacherous as that hike was, Doug made it the entire way. And then we finally got to the field. There was like 2 barbed wire little fences we had to climb over. I mean, maybe knee high. And Doug tripped over the top one, flipped, and landed on his back. After that whole walk of like death-defying trapeze work, he trips over the fence at the end.
Yeah, it was fun.
But we went back 4 times.
Oh, at least.
Yeah.
At least. It was amazing.
It was an amazing place.
So anyhow, about Lynn and Rich,
Oh, yeah. I forgot what you were talking about.
yeah. It turns out, like I said, we hunted a number of houses right on Rich's street before we actually hunted with him at his mom's house. And because they're just so much fun to be around and they're so good at finding things, hey, they fit right into the group. And they put up with our shenanigans.
That's the
Yeah,
best
and if
part.
anyone didn't see the video when we did Lynn's house, what was so funny is everything that we found, because Lynn is a lifelong antiques dealer and her house is amazing. Like I remember, like I found, or Doug found, one of us, like a broken Crodel bell. So, I call Lynn over at that point, just Joe Schmo property owner, or Jane Snow, whatever that thing is. And I'm like, hey, come look at this. So I start giving her the spiel. This is what it is. It's a Crodal bell, yada, yada, yada. So she disappears, goes inside, and comes back out with a tote of about 100 Crodal bells in there, all different sizes.
Yeah.
And then later I found like a clay marble. She goes inside, comes out with a box of like 700 clay all day long. Whatever we found, I explained to her what it is, trying to be like, you know,
Mr. Know-it-all.
explainer guy. And she goes inside and has the biggest collection, you know, this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah. One day I'd like you, Lynn, one day I'd like you to bring one of your Crodal bell straps so
Okay.
Jason can video it. That's what, you know, how they were intended to be used.
Sure.
People will be flabbergasted with how beautiful they were, how ornate. So
Somebody, a Charlie Allerman said, I thought those glasses were a gag. I guess not. You know, what's funny is they kind of started off as a half gag.
yes.
I don't know. You know, what's weird is that my whole life I kind of prided myself that I had 20/20 vision. You know, like I would impress my wife that like I could read that sign from like a quarter mile away. And then one day, a few years ago, I woke up and my eyes were blurry, and they've been blurry ever since. So these were the first pair of glasses I bought for detecting because I realized I was having trouble seeing the dates. And I thought, well, if I'm going to wear glasses, I might as well make them funny and, you know, have some fun with it. And then I started to really like them. And I like them because they kind of give like a little pop of color. Because I'm colorblind too, I wear almost always all black or gray because I don't want to look like a circus clown and not match.
He just
This is
acts
the only
like
pop of color I have. So they started as a gag, but now I'm wearing them to church, brother. You know, like this is it.
Darren Bridgers asks us, would we share a list of group hunt locations so people can meet us? I don't know that we have a list, but do we know yet where the next best chance for people to meet us will be?
Oh, as far as I don't know.
events.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a guy, and again, it's going to be a future of these live streams. There's a guy that runs a site that accumulates all of the detecting events. He might do the whole world. I don't know, but I know he does America. I was going to do something with him. That way I can have a link in the show so people can see every event that he knows of because he seems to know the most. And then we can add to it, and I can even have links so people will know where these events are. There's so many of them and so many clubs that might do a smaller club event that doesn't get all the hoopla online, but it still could be 75, 80 people in your area that if you go by yourself, you might meet some really cool buddies, you know, that like I did. I kind of think it makes the hobby so much more fun if you can go with a friend. You share the excitement in the moment of your find. So yeah, I'm working on that. We will have a list of all of the hunts, whether we're going to be there or not. But I definitely would recommend some, even if you know, you go on your own. Doug, you don't know any events you're going to, do you?
No.
Doug, do you know what day it is?
Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, in the wintertime, the events, I don't even think start up again until, at least in our area, until the spring. I think there's one in Florida coming up. I couldn't make it, but I don't know them all offhand.
We do want to try to get to England this year, but that won't happen for Jason if he doesn't get his passport.
Yeah, I got to get my passport. I told Dealick the same thing as I just keep dragging my butt. You know what the problem is I got to go to the mall, and I hate the mall. I just hate the
You have
mall.
to go somewhere if you want to go to
Mall?
England.
Go to the license center or the PennDOT photo place.
Or
Sure.
you can go to 3A. Go to 3A's.
I don't know what that is. I know in my state, in Jersey, there's
You
a
go to
place.
Walgreens.
There's a store in the mall that does everything for your passport. They do the photo, they mail it. I thought the post office could only do so much. Then you got to go to it. I don't even know. I got to look into it.
You're right, Kay. It can take months.
Yeah. Kay's the smartest one in the room, Doug.
Well, no, I've been telling you that for 6 months.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd like to. I couldn't. There was an event in Canada last year that I got invited to, and I was like, I don't even think I'm allowed to cross the border anymore. Years ago, like 20 years ago, I could drive right across from Maine into Canada. And now you can't even do that.
No. But you got to do England, Jason. You got to do it.
Yeah, Charlie went to England last year, Charlie?
This past September.
Yeah, he went with KK and Teresa was there, right? Hollywood Joe, was he there?
Yes.
They had a great time. We're kicking it around. And the problem I have too is I won't say the problem, but if I go, I would have a lot of fun if the group can go. And it's hard enough to even coordinate, going out on the Saturday, let alone, all right, everybody, let's all take off work, leave the family for a week, 10 days. It's tough. And I don't want to just go by myself. So you got to kind of plan these things out so we can go as a group and either have, succeed or fail as a group. Not that I think we'd fail, but you know what I mean.
But Jason, it is true. I used to hear this all the time that a kg in England is like a wheat penny here.
Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, I heard the guys will the vernacular was like they throw it in a bush or something like that. Like if they find like King George the first and second coppers, when they get to the edge of the field, they just like toss them like in the garbage or something like that. I'm not sure. I know I would never do that, Charlie. I mean, I still love finding like Hot Wheels cars from 2010. I don't know, but
They might
I found about five.
so many
Five
of
the
them.
first day. I found about 5 of them the first day, but it's the Roman stuff, the Viking stuff, the Anglo-Saxon stuff that really excites you.
Yeah. Now we're going to try to go. I'd like to try to do it if possible around that Detective All event, which is like, I don't know if it still is, but it was like the biggest detecting event in the world. And I thought, well, that'd be cool if we can go to the event and then detect and kill two birds with one stone kind of a thing.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see. Any PA history and archaeology search is here. Want to say hello. Seen him for years. He's been involved in the hobby. And I thought I saw Mandy, our friend Mandy, Charlie, in the chat.
Yeah, she's in.
Is she in?
Hi,
Yeah.
Mandy.
Hello, Mandy. Prairie Pirate, Kitty Lobo. Yeah, big storm, Doug. Did you get a big storm a couple days ago?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. They were blowing everything around. It ripped my front door, the screen door right off the door.
We had a big tree blown down behind us. Had that taken care of today.
Now, not far from us, one or two states up had some terrible snow. At least we just got rain.
Well, word is we're going to get snow on Tuesday.
Well, as long as it's going by Saturday,
We got 1,000 holes we can go to on Saturday.
That's true, but I want to go back. I don't want to give any spoilers away, so we don't say anything. But we've returned to the Cobb field where we found the 4 cobs, and
somebody asked if we're going back to the Cobb field.
We've had incredible success, and I don't want to say anything. I'm just going to say we've been back a couple times now. It's been incredible with a new oldest coin ever, new rarest coin ever. The 2024 best of is probably half done from that field.
Yes.
And I'm still about 2 or 3 weeks away from those starting to trickle out. But hold on to your hats, man, because those 4 cobs we found last year were just the tip of the iceberg of this place.
We hope.
So that's all I'm going to say about the Cobb field. That was probably too much.
Just get excited.
Yeah, I mean, holy cow, Doug.
Stan wants to know how far apart we live.
Not far enough from Doug.
Well, that really goes for me, right?
Yeah. Now, Doug, Rich, and Lynn live probably 5 minutes from each other.
Yeah.
Charlie lives about an hour west of all of us, and I probably live about maybe an hour
East.
east of Doug. I actually don't live far from Musketball Met. But we all found each other from the channel, and so one of us is usually driving a 2.5 hour round trip every Saturday. Lately, it's been Charlie because we've been on this Cobb field. But if we go out to Charlie's, I'm making that 3 hour round trip. So, but it's worth it. You get to find some cool stuff, hang out with your buddies all day, and have a good time.
Well, I can say one thing though. If I know Lynn is driving, I always bring my cables with me, my jumper cables.
That's a funny story. You mind if we tell that story, Lynn?
Oh, sure.
We were at a house. Man, we were finding some good stuff. And Lynn opened up the hatch of her car, and it was open the whole time. I don't even know why it was open. I think were you trying to keep it cool? Because it was the summer. It was hot.
I don't know, really.
I don't know. And I remember saying to Lynn, like, Lynn, your hatch is open. Like, is your light going to stay on? And she said, like, oh, it'll turn off or whatever. So all day we hunted, all day. And at the end of the day, about an hour earlier than we did, Charlie had to leave. He was going somewhere. Doug, I don't even know if you were there that day.
No, I took my son to an event.
Oh, that's right. You went to go get Daisy Duke's autograph.
Exactly.
Yeah. He went to like one of those Comic Cons that had Daisy Duke signing stuff.
Yeah.
And he did meet her. Congratulations.
Yes.
So anyway, at the end of the day, Lynn gets in her car, turns the key, and battery's dead. Now, keep in mind, we're parked in the homeowner's driveway because he left for a few hours. We were parked in the field. He said, I'll be back around 7. And we thought, oh, well, we'll park in the driveway to get closer. So we moved the cars. And so Lynn's in his driveway. It's kind of small, and the battery's dead. And she checks her car, doesn't have jumper cables. I check mine, don't have them. Charlie, we had to call Charlie, who already left, already went home, showered, shaved, put on an aftershave, whatever he does. He had to come back to the rescue. We had to finagle all the cars around for Charlie to get in the driveway and park parallel and finally get Lynn's car jumped and get the heck out of there.
Charlie. Thank you again. And I have jumper cables. They were just in my other van.
I have them in my car now too.
Yeah.
Well, when you called me, I thought you were back home already.
Yeah, no, we got stuck there.
And I said, where are you guys at? You said you're still detecting. I'm like, I looked at my watch. I said, it's getting pretty late.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to come back anyway.
Yeah, right.
That was the same day that when you left, Rich found the New Jersey copper under where
Yeah, that was the day. Yep.
Well, that was just a funny day anyway, because that was the third time you guys had been there, but the first time I had been there. I think.
Yeah, but even though it was the first time you were there, we had still never gotten to that whole side of the property yet.
Right.
So it was still virgin ground when you got there.
Everywhere where you were already is where I found the stuff.
Yeah.
Like underneath that tree branch and underneath Charlie's truck.
Which we could go back tomorrow and probably find 10 more coppers at that place. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Is that where Doug found all the crotal bells?
All the crotal bells, yep. And Teresa found the half real, and oh man, that was an incredible place, Charlie.
Doug, how many crotal bells did you find at that place?
I think about eight.
There's still giant sections that we didn't even get to, Charlie, but it's just that we had to move on. We had other places, and we'll save them for another day or someone else.
Charlie, how long did I wait for my first one?
Oh my gosh. I know you were finding pieces of crotal bells.
Yeah.
And I was with you the day that you found your first one. Yeah.
First whole intact crotal bell. Yeah.
Yeah, that was up near where I live, not too far from where I live. Yes, on a farm. Yeah. I remember that day. Long time. Took you a long time.
It sure did.
That flying eagle.
Still waiting.
This
is going to be the year. Oh, Charlie, did you tell Doug about Doug, the video that came out 2 days ago of this house, this new house we're doing across from the George Washington Inn.
Yeah.
Between me, Rich, and Charlie, we dug about 40 wheat pennies,
Yeah.
all in that little section. I didn't
That
put
was-
any of the wheat pennies in the video.
I was there.
Yeah, but you were away from it. Like when we detect, normally what happens is I say, all right, guys, let's all stay together. I don't care who picks where. If we want to go left, we all go left. You want to go right, we all go right. So we say, all right, we all want to go this way. So we all go this way, but Doug he goes that way.
Wait.
So he's always like nowhere near us. So Doug was way up near the house. We were way in the back digging wheat pennies all day. And after you dig your 30th one, we're not even looking at the dates anymore. You're
That's
just kinda
why I
like,
wasn't there.
Well,
I'll look
if
at
you
it
remember,
later.
there was a few silvers back there though.
Well, I'm saying there were some silver, but when we found a wheat penny or what we thought was a wheat penny, we weren't really inspecting it. We were just kind of throwing it in the bag and moving on.
I think I'm picking up where this is going.
Yeah, you probably are.
He
Charlie,
goes home and cleans one, and it's a flying eagle.
yes, one of the Wheaties that we just found at this house. I didn't record it because Charlie thought it was a
It's another
Wheatie.
Wheatie. Yeah.
It turned out to be a flying eagle for Charlie. So
Nice one too. Real
a nice one too. No,
Oh,
way.
good.
Nice.
Yeah, glad to
I
hear
think
it.
it was MS 70 when he cleaned it up. It was Mint State 70.
Nice, nice.
It was under where you parked your car.
Of course. Oh well, somebody's finding them. That's all I care about.
It's my third one now.
Oh, really?
It's my third one, Doug.
Let me know when you get your fourth, will you?
This will be the year that Doug gets the flying eagle.
Yeah.
Now, listen, as much fun as I'm having, I promised myself I wouldn't go for 9 hours. And it's been about an hour and a half. So we should probably try to wind it down because we're going to need things to talk about every Thursday for the whole year.
Or for just 3 weeks, like you
Or
said.
for 3 weeks. If, like I said, if we're bored by week 2, that might just be the end, and you can see us on Tuesday. But I kind of like it, and I like seeing all the chat. Look, Denise Keenan asking about Doug's foot. I believe it's good now, right, Doug?
It's good.
Thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
Thanks for shoving your foot into the live stream, the premiere. No, Doug is good. Thank you for asking. The toe jam, is that his name? The toe jam.
Yeah.
He wants a 2-center bed. Don't we all, brother? Those are tough.
What's that?
A 2-cent piece.
Oh yeah.
We get like 2 a year, and the homeowner found one, and we didn't. I mean, talk about crazy. Smoking Louie wants a $5 gold piece. Well, come on, bro. I mean, let's get back down on earth and focus on the 2-center. John, great show, guys. Thank you. With each new stream, I'm hoping it'll be slightly more organized. Like I said, we're kind of throwing ourselves to the lions. I think it's not too bad setting it all up. So next week we're going to try to go for our first giveaway, and we'll do a couple of them. I've got a whole bunch of things lined up to try to help people get their gear started in the hobby. Doug, what do you think about that?
I think it's a good idea. Just to remind everyone, because we've gotten a lot of questions about the wheat penny challenge.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Warman's, we intend to give 1, maybe 2 of them away.
Yeah, we're going to give away the main Warman's book. Maybe we'll give that away next week on the show. I mean, I had something else in mind also, but maybe we'll do that. I like to remind everybody in the Tuesday video. That way they can kind of participate. So maybe in 2 weeks, but we're going to give that away. We did not find all the wheat pennies. I knew we wouldn't. We always get stuck on the S mint marks. They're hard to find. So
we got to be pretty close, except for the really key dates.
I think we got about as close as we did last year. We get like all of them except for the hard to find S mint marks for whatever reason. Another reason because they're rare.
How many 1909s did we get? That none of them were.
Oh, a lot of them. Yeah, but not the rare one.
None of the SVB or whatever it is.
So yeah, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring the book this weekend when we get together. I like everybody signs the book usually because we all kind of contributed to it. And then we'll give that away. And because we didn't complete it, I'll throw some other things in the book too. Maybe some silver dimes, maybe a large cent, things like that. We'll give it away as a prize along with some stickers and whatnot. And then I've got some emails out to some companies and vendors and whatnot. I plan on giving things away a lot because it's fun. Who doesn't like getting stuff for free? You know, it's fun.
Hey, Bulldog's on.
Bulldog. Oh, Bob Evans, the Bulldog. Yeah. What's up, Bob?
Something else I might just throw in real quick. Next time I'm on, I'll have my up-to-date dog tag collar.
Will you wear the rubber dog mask?
Only for a few seconds. You can't breathe in that thing.
When Doug told me he wanted that to be his logo and he put this mask on, I was like, Doug, that's a terrible idea. No one's going to know who you are. Anyone can be under that mask.
Which is fine for my wife. She doesn't want anybody to know who I am.
And a real quick funny story, and then we're going to go. Doug wanted to also make a sticker for his Jane Fonda character.
Oh, I had a good one worked up.
And his plan was he wanted to come out in like short shorts, leg warmers, no shirt, a pink headband.
A belly shirt.
And I said, Doug, everyone's going to unsubscribe and leave. Nobody, your own wife doesn't want to see you in that outfit.
You have no sense of humor.
I'm making a video of that.
There's a difference between a sense of humor and scaring away young children.
Yes.
I had to put the kibosh on Doug's Jane Fonda costume.
Take all the fun out of this.
So
maybe a Halloween video, Doug.
Maybe like a scary Halloween costume. Yeah.
I don't want to scare anybody. I want to make them laugh. That's my stick.
I'm not sure what the reaction would be on that, but that would be interesting.
That would be creepy, Doug.
It would be mildly creepy.
See, I'm getting a lot of love here. Do it, Doug from Pirate Prairie Pie.
Oh, jeez.
I know. Maybe you could do that and put those pictures on the Dog Tag Doug Facebook page.
I might do that.
Maybe if you wore the dog mask with it.
I try to keep the Quarter Order page rated PG.
Well,
Melissa Wade says no belly shirts, please.
Who said that?
Melissa Wade.
Oh, come on. She doesn't know what she's missing.
I agree. No hairy bullies.
Yeah, because I got to take that picture and then I got to Photoshop and enhance it. And you're talking about me looking at it for 2 hours up close, zooming in, make sure the edges are. I don't want to do that.
Come on. Live dangerously.
So, all right, let's wrap this show up, Doug, because like I said, we got to talk every Thursday for who knows how long. I'm a late person to say goodbye, but I do want to thank everybody for coming in. I really appreciate it. I want to thank Brad for very last second coming in, getting dressed, doing his whole spiel. Make sure you check out Green Mountain Brad's Green Mountain Metal Detecting's new series starting tomorrow. It was called the Gold. What was it, Rich?
Gold in the Grave.
The gold grave or
gold to the grave or something like that. I'm going to watch it. I don't remember the title, but I'll know it for sure by tomorrow.
Watch it.
So if anyone wants to say their goodbyes, we're going to wrap this puppy up.
Well,
goodbye,
everybody.
Thanks for having us.
You're the ringleader.
Well, I've been talking the whole time, Doug. I mean, I'll be talking till tomorrow morning. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. If I didn't say your name in the chat, next week I will try. Southern Relics, Ed B., Zachary Gates. I saw Chris Heimsoth, our good buddy from Missouri. Yeah. We might see him down there. Monty DeWitt, Crazy Diggin', Mike Mento. Oh, I love Mentos, Doug. Do you ever have Mentos?
Oh, yeah, of course.
They used to pull my teeth out. I don't know if Mike's related to the candy, but Mike, Rob R.
from Ireland.
Melissa Wade, Mary Beth Nelson, everybody that showed up. If I missed you, I'm sorry. I'll try to catch you next time. But we're going to get out of here. That way I'm not totally hoarse by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Charlie, Lynn, Rich, Matt, thank everybody for coming. We'll see you guys next Thursday, and you might see us, hopefully, next Tuesday for the next installment. I won't tell you what it is, but it should be a fun one. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Happy hunting, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Later.